when Gypsy starts reaching back into the creepy alter ego side of things, because that eye starts micro deleting real hard. So, in my opinion, this is one of the creepiest things that Gypsy has done since being released from prison. I don't know, it just made me feel some type of way. This is a video, or this is a screenshot from the string of videos that she did making fun of creators who talk about her. And this particular creator has purple hair. And the hair itself just gives me the heebie-jeebies because, you know, she wore those colored wigs when she did the thing back then. And I don't know. And I know that the creator has purple hair and that's why she's doing it, but it's still, along with the context, just gives me bad vibes. So she's going on and impersonating this creator, making fun of her and saying, you know, if something happens to me, call the FBI. Gypsy Rose did it. And then she goes on to say something along the lines of, if I end up where her mom is, you'll know who did it. Like, just the fact that she can even say that and make it into like a joke is insane. Like that, because even if she was abused, which I don't believe she was, but even if she was, then your innocence in that sense would trigger you when you think about that time and what you had to do, if that were the case. But she is so stone cold staring at this camera making that joke, and like it was scary. And it's just scary the fact that she can say that so nonchalantly.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard's name is buzzing again, and this time it's not about a new romance, a family update, or another media interview. It's about a video that people swear is the most unhinged thing she's done since leaving prison. The wild part? She didn't even post it herself. At least, not directly. Word is, Gypsy allegedly recorded the whole thing and then passed it off to a friend. Some people say Sean, others say Shauna, and a few insist it's Sheena. Whoever it is, that friend's account is the one where the video popped up. If that's true, then it looks like Gypsy is playing puppet master yet again, letting someone else take the heat while she hides behind the curtain. Classic Gypsy move, right? So what's all the fuss about? Allegedly, this video is a parody, but not just any parody. People claim it's Gypsy flat out mocking some of the creators who've built followings by commenting on her life. Instead of ignoring them or clapping back with words, she supposedly dressed up, switched her voice, and went all in on impersonations. Think wigs, accents, over-the-top gestures, the works. Some say it was hilarious, others are calling it unhinged and petty, and plenty are asking, how does someone who just branded herself as a reformed, anti-bullying advocate suddenly turn around and do this? The supposed targets? Kesha, Amber J, Fancy, Sir Morbid X, Nina, and maybe a few others. According to the rumors, she doesn't hold back. There's a bit where she allegedly pretends one of them is live streaming, acting paranoid because Gypsy's in the chat, spiraling into accusations about being stalked, and even joking that if they go missing, Gypsy's the one who did it. Another clip apparently has her dragging someone's southern accent to cartoonish levels, stretching every word into a joke. She even goes so far as to play conspiracy theorist, mocking another creator with a bizarre rant about alien baby deliveries and insane theories that are so over the top they stop being funny and just feel mean. But the darkest part of the whole alleged video is a line where Gypsy supposedly makes a crack about someone ending up like her mom. That right there sent chills through people watching. For many, it wasn't witty, it wasn't edgy, it was flat out disturbing. Gypsy's mother's death isn't just a detail in her story, it's the trauma that made her infamous, and hearing her allegedly use it as a punchline made viewers question whether she's ever really processed it. And here's where the tea really gets messy. Just a short while ago, Gypsy posted a long, passionate YouTube video presenting herself as a survivor-turned-activist. She went on about cyberbullying, begged for people to treat each other better online, and even demanded laws to hold trolls accountable. She cried, she pleaded, she built herself up as the face of kindness in the digital space. Now, if these parody rumors are true, that whole anti-bullying crusader image has crumbled overnight. Instead of leading by example, she's allegedly doing the very thing she condemned, and people are calling her out hard for the hypocrisy. It also feeds into an old narrative about Gypsy, that she's a master manipulator who knows how to make other people do her dirty work. Think about it, she records this video, but instead of posting it on her own accounts, she sends it to a friend.
I know with 100% certainty that had to take out my teeth for this. I know with 100% certainty that Gypsy Rose Blanchard did not give birth to any baby. That baby was delivered at the hospital by the Area 51 people.
And we're certainly glad you did, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. We're certainly glad that you pulled your teeth out for us, pulled out on us, okay? Number one, that's pretty savage for a 34-year-old woman, all right? I'm a nearly 60-year-old man, all right? You're a 34-year-old woman that just pulled her teeth out and sent it out to the entire world just for a laugh and comedic value. Seems to me like whoever Sheena and Ken punked you, but that's neither here nor there. Thank you for pulling out the teeth, because that just exposed another one of your big lies, okay? Remember when she got out of prison? Oh, someone got me these free dentures because my mother tricked a pediatrician, not even a pediatric oncologist, a regular pediatrician, to give me rounds of chemo. That way my teeth fell out, so they gave me new dentures. Okay, well, that was a partial she's pulled out of her mouth. Okay, what is she gonna say now? Oh, no, the back teeth are all implants. Those are all implants, and we ran out of money. So the most important ones up front, they gave me a partial for just to fill it in. Okay, is this what the bitch wants us to believe? The reason I'm pointing this out, guys, we know she's a big ass liar, is because once again, if they will lie in small things, they will lie in big things. Okay, she never had a baby. She was never pregnant. That's bullshit. Okay, that is not her baby. And she sacrificed her mother to Lucifer, period, and blamed it on Nick. Period. And I'll see you in the next video.
No.
I'm so sorry, this is hard to talk about. If I go missing, call the FBI. Because Gypsy Rose Blanchard is the one that did it. No, I've never had any interaction with her. But I'm pretty sure she stalked me from like 50 different accounts. Like, I've traced it back to her. So if I end up with her mom, you know where to look.
Suddenly, her friend is the one taking all the risks. If the video gets flagged, reported, or slammed, Gypsy's hands are technically clean. It's not her account that gets punished, it's her friends. To some, that looks sneaky. To others, it looks calculated. Either way, it has people saying she hasn't changed a bit, she's just gotten better at covering her tracks. The impersonations themselves are raising red flags. The alleged parody of Kesha is said to be so spot on it almost feels stalkerish, like Gypsy studied her streams frame by frame. With Amber J, people claim Gypsy turned a southern accent into a stereotype so exaggerated it felt like she was making fun of everyone from the south. When it comes to Sweetest Honey, Gypsy allegedly turned the entire thing into a circus, leaning into wild conspiracy theories, but slipping in digs about appearance and mannerisms that cut deeper than satire. And the supposed impersonation of Nina is sparking the most outrage. Gypsy allegedly leaned into the loud ghetto stereotypes, exaggerated looks, trashy behavior, mannerisms that people say are racially coded. For someone who positioned herself as an anti-hate advocate, that's not just shady, it's a disaster. What makes this even juicier is the split reaction online. Some people are saying, finally, Gypsy is fighting back. She's been torn apart by these creators, why shouldn't she mock them right back? But others are pointing out that the way she allegedly did it isn't just clapback energy, it's bullying with a dark twist. They're questioning if this is the real Gypsy slipping out, the one who knows how to play roles to fit whatever narrative suits her in the moment.
Good. I give you credit where credit's due. Guys, you can't be mad about these things when they happen to you. You have to have thick skin on here, okay? All right? Whether we like her or not, whether we think she deserves whatever she gets. I mean, think about it. The poor girl has to come on here, and I don't mean it, if she can turn on any media, social media, and she has to hear these multitudes of people talking shit about her every single day, okay? And if you don't think that her friends and family and everything are sending her videos and telling her, look who said this about you now, look who said this about you now. And how else is she going to clap back? Is she going to get on the fucking news? No, she can't do that. So this is a creative way, thank God she's got Sheena and them to help her. But you guys, we can't be mad. This is the first content she's ever done that I think's worth a buck, actually. And I'm the butt of the joke of the last one, and I think it's the only content she's done worth a buck. So you know what? Good job. I deserve it. You gotta be careful what you wish for, guys. I was bitching to my friends on here. Well, why is she making fun of all these other people? I'm not significant. I'm not significant. I fucking talk about her almost every day. Well, and then I wake up to everyone in the world sending me this video she made of me. So that's what I get. And it is funny. So, all right, guys, that's my response to that. All right, have a good day. Bye, guys.
Another video making fun of content creators. At this point, she's literally doing it just for attention. Now, she sent it to her friend Shauna privately, but obviously Shauna got her permission to post it for everyone to see. So literally Gypsy is just doing this to make us mad and doing it for attention. Literally. Like, that's all she's doing. I mean, trolling. But I understand that a lot of people in the comment section on my other video were like, but y'all make fun of her and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. But yes, we are talking about the case. We are talking about what she did to her mother. We are talking about stuff that should be held accountable for as far as our government goes. And yeah, there are content creators that make fun of her looks and stuff like that. But me personally, I like to post about facts usually and just stuff that shows what type of person she is. So no, I don't think it's okay for her to just make fun of people, especially or the way that they look or anything like that.
Gypsy Rose had an interview with Kim K, and she told Kim K that she was denied one-on-one therapy in prison, and that's part of the reason she'd like to do the prison reform with her.
I received a notice that I didn't qualify for one-on-one therapy.
Wow. But guess what? She wrote to her dad in a prison email that she saw a therapist today, one-on-one, and they were regulating Gypsy's emotions because she was feeling a little unbalanced. But I don't know, that's just crazy to be lying like that straight to Kim Kardashian's face. I don't know, maybe I should tag her in it. Let me know what you think.
Representing the Gypinator. Woohoo! Gypsy mocked us. It was fine. It was funny as hell. She did a great job. Imagine being upset at Gypsy Rose Blanchard. She don't care. She got rid of her mother and put somebody in jail. She don't give a goddamn. Gypsy does what Gypsy wants. You can't say you're not mad about Gypsy and then make a video about Gypsy. You like her. Cause you like her content. Cause you like her name. You like that hashtag Gyp, hashtag Gypstain, hashtag Gyp, hashtag that Gypinator. Y'all want to be in a Gypinator. I know it. I figured it out. Y'all really like her. Y'all actually really like the Gypinator. That's the damn truth. It's okay. You could come out and say it. You could say that you're jealous of Gypsy. It's fine. Some of us aren't jealous of Gypsy, only a little bit, because listen, my mom, she's the law. Was not abused, and her mom did not have Munchausen. Let's talk about it. After Gypsy's prison release, she quickly had to face the truth that she was diagnosed with microdeletion 1q21.1, and because of that, we now have proof that Dee Dee was not making up her illnesses. They were caused by this microdeletion, forcing doctors to treat her without knowing what the problem was, until she got genetic testing in 2011. But let's dig a little deeper. 75% of children with this have delayed development, particularly affecting motor skills such as sitting, standing, and walking. And in 2001, when Gypsy was 10 years old, they knew that she had bilateral leg weakness. Another doctor noted it as neuromuscular weakness. And let's remember, at this time, Gypsy knew she could walk, but her mother did not, because she did not tell her mother until 2011 that she had filling in her legs. And that came from Gypsy herself.
Survivor one day, activist the next, comedian when it's convenient, and now, allegedly, the bully she once spoke out against. And just when you think the story couldn't get any more tangled, the tea gets hotter. People are whispering that Gypsy's latest alleged skit spree wasn't just about mocking her critics, it might actually backfire in ways she hasn't thought through. The whole thing looks like someone's so wrapped up in old grudges that she can't see how reckless it comes across. Allegedly, she's not just poking fun at creators' accents or conspiracy rants, she's taking aim at people who've been pointing out cracks in her own carefully polished image. These are the same folks who've been questioning everything from her rumored side hustles, like that overpriced art gig, to the shaky timeline of her so-called quiet mom life. Remember when she supposedly pressed pause on art orders to focus on family? Now, if she really had the time to film hours of parody material, fans are asking what her real priorities are. And here's the dangerous part. People say this kind of content could easily be used against her in the future. Courtrooms don't care about whether it was just a joke. All it takes is a lawyer queuing up that video and suddenly Gypsy's "I've changed" a narrative is toast. Picture it, a judge watching her mimic critics, joke about her mother's death, and ridicule anyone who dares question her. Instead of looking like a victim-turned-survivor, she starts to look like someone who never grew past the manipulation, someone still playing games. And if any of those creators she targeted wanted to push back with legal action, defamation, harassment, even emotional distress, well, that tape would basically hand them the evidence on a silver platter. Posting it through a friend doesn't make her untouchable either. Digital fingerprints don't lie, and if her buddy ever admits Gypsy was the mastermind, that whole "it wasn't me" defense crumbles instantly. The timing makes it even sketchier. She's been telling everyone she wants privacy, shutting down accounts, pulling back from the spotlight, and then suddenly a video like this drops? It's like announcing you've retired and then sneaking into the ring for a secret fight. The rumors say her art wasn't selling, her engagement was drying up, and her relevance was fading fast. So instead of bowing out gracefully, she allegedly stirred the pot to drag attention back her way. It's attention-grabbing, sure, but it reeks of desperation. What really stings for a lot of people, though, is the way she allegedly jokes about her mom. For many, it's not just bad taste, it's terrifying. Gypsy has always carried the stain of her role in what happened, no matter how much she leans on the abuse narrative. People haven't forgotten the emails, the planning, or the fact that Nick Godejohn is serving life while she walked free after a plea deal. To turn around and toss her mother's death into a punchline feels chilling, like she's detached from the gravity of it all. Critics are even saying it borders on sociopathic, that she's so comfortable compartmentalizing her past that she can roll it into a content without flinching. And then there are the whispers circling back to the old debate about her health.
So while Gypsy was busy rolling around in her wheelchair, like her theme song was "The Wheels on the Bus," she knew she could walk. And had she told her mom, she could have started physical therapy, because her microdeletion, again, causes a delayed development, not a paralysis. Now let's discuss other common signs. Unusually small head, check. Microcephaly, which again, Gypsy has announced herself. Being short, she's 4'11". Eye problems, she had 2 eye surgeries because she's cross-eyed like this. And despite the surgeries, she's still cross-eyed. But nonetheless, check, check, check. Weak muscle tone is noted once again, as well as seizures. Weak muscle tone, and in 2002, seizure disorder. Mood disorder and schizophrenia, I'm not saying she has it. I'm just saying she exhibits some of the signs. Urinary system problem. Gypsy wore a diaper. Let's also go back to this one, because kids that have these issues are often labeled failure to thrive. And because of her inability to gain weight, homegirl got a feeding tube. And she started to improve after getting the feeding tube, which again does not line up with Munchausen's, because if her mom was trying to make her sick, she would have continued to force her to lose weight, even with a feeding tube. Because people with Munchausen's don't want their patients getting better. And for added measure, let's look at this, and let's compare it to Gypsy. In conclusion, her mom was getting her treatment. For a microdeletion, her mom did not know she had. The girl was sick, and her mom did what a parent should do, got her tested, took her to the doctors, and fought for answers. In my opinion, Dee Dee was not a medically abusive parent.
If it were not bad enough that Gypsy Rose Blanchard planned and put together a torture ritual that culminated in the sacrifice of her own mother, where she slit her throat and they actually drank her blood in a ritual in order to obtain fame and fortune. And then after that, she decides to call it self-defense and blame it all on her mother for medically abusing her and otherwise just abusing her to hell. And she did all of this post-mortem when she could not even defend herself, to fame the hell out of her murder victim that she also used for her sacrifice to obtain fame and fortune. And if that weren't enough, ladies and gentlemen, if that weren't enough, Now this motherfucker is using her mother as a punchline.
Came out of her little Facebook backpack right there when she got arrested. There are some things in here I have never noticed. So Gypsy Rose loves to say she wasn't into BDSM. She didn't like rough stuff. There's a freaking whip. That's what that is, right? Y'all see it too. You know, that kind of whip, you know. I'm guessing this is for her dom side, you know? And what in the hell is this little thing right here? Y'all see that? What is that? And is that a power button? And I swear I see like little ridges or bumps. Do y'all see it? There's some stuff in this picture I've never noticed, dude. We got duct tape. Could be for her. It could be for Nick. It could be for the men she said she would rob at the bar. And well, she said she would also, hurt women. But people forget about that part, but yeah. And she has her cell phone. Freaking cell phone. And she couldn't call anybody. She couldn't send a message to anybody. Unless it was Dan, unless it was Nick, unless it was me between the ages of 35 and 50. Which didn't change when she went to prison, by the way. Paying attention to it. Definitely what it looks like, isn't it, friends? We can't forget the handcuffs. So strange that she has all this stuff in her bag. It says this is all the kind of stuff Nick was into. Nick didn't have money. He couldn't even get to Missouri. Gypsy had to send him $800 to get there to go to the movies with her, and money to buy an outfit so he would look nice. Then she sent another $1,000 to come do the murder. Both times Diddy was alive and well, and we have never heard Gypsy say not one thing about her mom punishing her for that. That's $1,800 in like 4 months. I don't know what this little blacked out party is. One can assume, considering, other stuff. The little shiny thing is her ID, her medical ID I showed y'all a couple days ago that has her real damn birthday. On this trip, she has a phone, she has something proving her age. She couldn't just steal the money and leave with Nick, could she? Also had like 5 or 6 maps with her. Isn't surprising to me. I think Gypsy Rose made that third Facebook post where she said the girl is dead too. I think she posted that because she was gonna leave Nick's too. Took a bunch of her pictures down out of her mama's house like she was trying to disappear. I've even wondered if the reason she made the Facebook post about the B is dead because she did want her mama found, but not because she was like, I don't want her laying there, but because she wanted her found because she needed to get back to the house or something and didn't want her mama's body there. I've thought about that. I've wondered. Camera back there is the camera that is mentioned in the FOIA with the 4G damn memory card that they just hadn't looked at. I don't know what's on that freaking box right there, but I want to. Anyway, I really just wanted to go over these because I have never noticed these. I want to know what those little green things are too. This ain't no ledge. This is from Gypsy Rose's crime scene. It is my opinion, and well, you know how we got here from.
That's why myself and others do not believe that Nicholas Godejohn injured Gypsy's mother on his own. Let's start with this as well as this. Do you know what that is? Where bullets grazed the wall whenever Gypsy had tried to shoot her mother, way prior to Nick. But not just that, why is there blood all over the kitchen? On the counters, on the flour bag, and the cabinet above it. Now why would there be so much blood in all those other places? But hardly any here, when Gypsy says this is the first place he went after murking her mother, and says they cleaned up here. I'm not saying anybody has to agree with me, but the math ain't mathin'. But then there's also this. Do you see these evidence markers right here? That would be blood dripping off of the knife that they are marking. But Nick is left-handed, so the blood would have dripped over here, not over here.
Some claim DD wasn't fabricating everything, that Gypsy did have a real condition misdiagnosed for years, leading to genuine medical struggles. The darker rumor? That Gypsy herself allegedly played along with the illnesses, keeping the wheelchair act going even when she knew she could walk. If that's true, it twists the entire victim story into something murkier, less about a helpless child trapped in abuse, more about a partnership in deception that spiraled out of control. Stack all of that on top of this alleged parody fiasco, and what you get is a picture of someone who may never stop craving the spotlight, even when it threatens to unravel everything she's worked so hard to rebuild. There are those who insist she really was sick, that feeding tubes helped her keep weight on, that surgeries and treatments weren't just fabricated but necessary. Crossed eyes fixed through operations, medical diapers for bladder problems, mood meds to balance out deeper issues, all of it, according to whispers, lining up more with a genetic disorder than a mother inventing illness out of thin air. And if it really was Munchausen by proxy, skeptics ask, why didn't hospitals, specialists, or surgeons file lawsuits to cover themselves later? The rumor mill says HIPAA keeps those doors locked tight, doctors can't openly defend their records, and Gypsy knows it. Talking down on a hospital is low risk for her because no pediatric center wants the PR disaster of clapping back at an abused victim. The silence makes her look credible, even if the medical files tell a more complicated story. Then there's the murder itself, which continues to swirl with speculation darker than anything Gypsy's parodies could mock. Stories circulate of details that don't line up with the official account, stray bullet grazes suggesting an earlier, failed attempt, splatter patterns in the kitchen that don't match Nick's confession, glove evidence pointing to more than one set of hands, DNA that raises questions, even left-handed versus right-handed stab marks that imply more than one stabber. Some even claim blood was found on Gypsy's clothes in a way that screams present at the scene, not just sitting in another room. Layer that with the weird bathroom findings and it paints a picture of someone who wasn't just the planner, but allegedly closer to the act itself than her narrative has allowed. Now link that back to her latest rumored parody. If she's really out here poking fun at creators who are connecting these dots, it's almost like she's daring people to look deeper, like she's taunting the very narrative that kept her sympathy alive in the public eye. And if the courts ever come calling again, whether it's a custody dispute with Ken, or some reopened investigation dredging up old evidence, imagine the damage. A prosecutor doesn't need much. All they'd have to do is roll that video and say, here's the woman who insists she's reformed, joking about her mother's murder, mocking critics, showing no remorse. That doesn't play well in front of a judge, and it certainly doesn't scream fit parent. It also stirs the pot on her personal life. Relationships that were already rocky, dumping Ryan, bouncing back with Ken, allegedly leaning on friends like Bree as if they're assistants, all start looking like more of the same pattern. Even her family seems to be keeping distance. Rod and Christy staying quiet, Mia barely visible. And if the rumors are true that she leaned on Shauna, this so-called best friend, to be her shield by posting the video, that's a betrayal wrapped in a setup. Imagine thinking you're trusted enough to be in the inner circle, only to realize you're the one holding the ticking time bomb. And while all of this is deadly serious, the irony is so absurd it borders on comedy. The image of Gypsy, wigs scattered around her living room like a low-budget costume department, slipping in and out of accents as if she's prepping for Saturday Night Live, it's almost laughable. Hold my brush, I'm about to roast the haters. But then she drops that chilling mom line, and the air goes ice cold. The internet doesn't laugh, it recoils. That's the real danger here, she can't seem to stop. Every time she promises she wants peace and privacy, she pops back up with chaos. The art hustle stalled, her brand fizzled, so she grabs for drama to stay relevant. But drama is a double-edged sword, it brings eyeballs, but also receipts. And if creators decide to push back legally, subpoenas and discovery could drag out more texts, more planning, more behind-the-scenes strings she's allegedly pulling. That's not clout, that's court ammo. Even worse, the parody's alleged racial digs, the overdone accents, the stereotypes, hit hard in 2025. People don't shrug that off anymore. It risks alienating supporters who once saw her as a symbol of survival. Instead of growing her platform, she's shrinking her circle. In the end, this wasn't just a clapback. It's a self-sabotage. Gypsy thinks she's mocking her critics, but what she's really mocking is her own redemption arc. Because karma? It has a way of collecting, and if she's not careful, it may come with interest. And that's the tea for now. What do you think? Is Gypsy just stirring the pot for clout or digging herself into an even deeper mess? Drop your thoughts below, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more drama updates, and I'll see you in the next one.